Hello everyone, my name is Caden and welcome back to more, if it'll show up on the screen, game? Chaos Child. Last time, we began the Kazuki chapter. And Kazuki has been hiding something pretty powerful this entire game. Being the fact that she's a gigalomaniac. But her power is very uncontrollable, so yeah. Also, she knows Takumi, apparently. That's wild to me, the fact that she just knows Takumi. Okay. Anyways, that's a lot of information to take in. I tried as hard as I could to understand everything that Nightheart was saying. A rumor can, under certain circumstances, turn into a form of demagoguery capable of altering an entire society. So Kazuki's power might be the same thing as that. That would explain why it isn't safe for her to talk. It must be such a terrifying possibility to her. So what about the ESO2 portal device? It was real booed last night when Kazuki spoke. Oh, so that news story was you guys. Why a portal device? I just told you that she can't control her powers, right? Someone who heard it just happened to know about ESO2's portal devices and it just happened to be real booed. That's all, it's just a coincidence. Of course, you could say it's also a coincidence that the other things she said weren't real booed. The second the woman said who was attacking us touched a portal, she disappeared. Where do you think she went? Oh, you know. She's probably dead, right? Yep. He typed out those callous words like he didn't really care at all. Even though it was something neither Kazuki nor I wanted to accept. That portal device was the only one that got real booed, right? I ran a net search and didn't see any others. In ESO2, if you touch a portal device, you get warped to another one. But if there's only one device, there's nowhere for her to warp to, right? She's probably transported to a dimensional rift or dissolved at a subatomic level. Of course, even if there were two portal devices, I don't think you would actually be able to teleport between them. Basically, it only recreated its appearance. Even more cold words appeared on the computer's LCD monitor. Kazuki and I both stared at them. She was dead. The woman really was dead. Hearing it from an objective third party made me want to throw up. Oh, sorry, I've got to log off. Gotta go to Nippon Bashi and get me a Yume no Har Mimi figure. Nippon Bashi, are you in Osaka? Sure, why not? Why so vague? I'm actually super busy these days, running all around the world. I haven't been able to make it to Akihabara in a while, actually. Sucks. So today I'm having an otaku merchandise hunting party. Furthermore, I will be the only one participating. Last night I was so excited I only got 2 hours of sleep. Actually, did you hear about the last episode of Gunravel being cancelled? I know there's something going on with that, like the staff got into a fight or something. My otaku sense is tingling. The Mimi figures are going to be in high demand real soon now. That's why I'm going to get them while I can. I can make a fortune reselling them. Anyway, you kids have fun. Bro! Is this really the kind of person that Nightheart is? Bro? I'm a little disappointed, maybe.
I can always see him on ESO2, maybe. So maybe a little hard to get a hold of him, maybe. He's usually there when I log in, though.
It's a weekday, but he said he was going to Nippon Bashi. He also said he was traveling around the whole world. Both of those statements seem like lies. Just who is he, really? I didn't get a chance to ask him about what happened 6 years ago, either. But there's no point in thinking about Nightheart now. What should we do? So, we've currently got a big issue of, first of all, Taguro needs new clothes because he's currently covered in blood. And then I'd argue the more important thing, which is odd to say because you would already think that the blood issue is a big enough problem, but the more important thing, surprisingly, is the teleporting device. If other people interact with that thing, it's going to start killing people. Like, sure, it's not going to go out and become like a serial killer teleporter thing, whatever, but if somebody interacts with it, it's going to kill them, probably. Just like it did to Hidoriko. So, how do we get rid of that? Go to the police? Or pretend we don't know anything? Should we pretend that we weren't even at the school last night? Should I tell Serika and Kurusu? Then again, rumors aren't something anyone can control. The more people that know a secret, the more likely it is to leak. Let's keep what happened last night a secret between you and me. Kazuki froze and looked at me pleadingly. We'll just keep an eye on things for a while. I still don't know why that woman had attacked us. It didn't seem to have anything to do with the return of the new gen madness, though. The way she attacked us was too different from the other murders. The most likely possibility is that she was a psychopath, but that's only a theory. Maybe somebody else is controlling her. It would be best to be careful. I should avoid attracting any unnecessary attention to myself. Maybe I should shut down the newspaper club for a while, too.
Takuru-senpai. I'm sorry.
For some reason, she apologized. Even though it wasn't her fault. If anything, it was my fault for getting her involved.
Maybe you understand now. But you shouldn't talk to me anymore. Maybe. My voice makes bad things happen. I wish I never had it.
She looked down, wearing a melancholy expression. Her power really is making her suffer. As an older student from her club, I should probably say something to her. She did use her power to save me after all, even though she hates it. Hey, Kazuki. Thanks for saving me last night. I'm really grateful. You might hate your power, but maybe by... Thanks to that power, I'm still alive. And well, you know, I don't think your voice is that bad. It's cute, really. I'm not just saying that. So don't get so depressed about your power. Wow, that was pretty embarrassing to say. I can feel sweat beating on my forehead. But Kazuki didn't respond at all. She was looking down at her cell phone. I looked closer and saw that there was a cord running from it to her ears. When did you put your headphones on? She didn't hear any of what I just said. What the hell? Whatever, I'm going back to sleep then. I went to a corner of the room, buried my head in my knees, and tried to sleep.
Thank you, senpai.
Okay, so she did hear it. For the next 2 days, Kazuki and I spent all our time in this room doing nothing at all. A few days ago, I never would have imagined I'd be living in a room with a girl from my club. But sadly, nothing romantic had happened at all.
Bro.
All I did was watch the news on TV. I wanted to look online, but Kazuki was using the computer the whole time and wouldn't give it to me. Even now, Kazuki was seated in front of the only computer in the room, a low-spec compact laptop. There was an angry glare in her eyes as she stared at it. It was like she was trying to intimidate her monitor. Her frustration was plain to see on her face. She was a totally different person than the one who cried as she told me about her powers 2 days ago. Actually, this is the Kazuki I always see in the club room, isn't it? Ugh. She slammed her fist against the table in annoyance. I thought I could hear the sound of Kazuki gritting her teeth. Don't get so emotional over a game. Did you lose again? She was sulking. If you let her, Kazuki Hana would spend the whole day playing video games. Same. She would barely even eat. Not same. The only food in the room was dried squid and lollipops, both of which were available in enormous quantities. It freaked me out a little, honestly. But still, thanks to them, I was able to eat something without having to leave. Kazuki ran her fingers through her hair violently, trying to vent her frustration. She'd been angry ever since yesterday. When I'd asked her what was wrong, she told me...
This laptop's specs are too low to run the game right.
Basically, she was having withdrawal symptoms from being unable to play her games. Sheesh. Then she slowly stood up and headed for the door. Wait, where are you going? For the past 2 days, she'd been unwilling to leave the room. She was probably still thinking about what had happened at the school. I'd felt bad about it since I was the one who got her involved. Has she recovered?
School. In a game.
You're kidding me. I was too shocked to say anything else. She's only leaving because she can't handle playing the games on her low-spec laptop anymore. Sure, the one in the club room is pretty high-end, but I feel like I'd finally solved the mystery of why she was always playing in the club room. It was never clear if that computer belonged to the school or was someone else's personal property. It was one of the 7 mysteries of the newspaper club. I didn't really try to stop her, but I didn't feel like going to school yet myself. Part of it was that if I did, I'd remember the terror I'd felt. But more importantly, I didn't want to answer all the questions I knew Caruso and Ito were going to ask. That was why I'd spent the last 2 days cooped up in this room. No one knew I was here right now. I've been getting calls from Serica and Caruso all day since yesterday, but I'd ignored them all. I was sure Kazuki was going to leave, but instead she turned around once she got to the front door. It looked like she was still hesitant about going outside. Is the game really that much fun? I've never been able to get into a game as much as Kazuki did. All I ever did was play a few to kill some time. But when I saw how Kazuki's life seemed to revolve around her game, I started to wonder what was so interesting about it. Hey, can I try that game you were playing a little? Kazuki nodded in it, so I sat down in front of the PC. The game screen was still displayed on the monitor. It was a Western game called Call of Counterfield. Is that supposed to be Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and Battlefield in one game? Fuck off. This is one of those games where you shoot each other with guns, right? I think they're called FPS games, right? How do I control it? Kazuki sighed a little and came over to me.
Put your hand on the mouse.
She moved my hand to the mouse. My hand was on top of the mouse, and Kazuki's hand was on top of mine. She's so close. She's practically right on top of me.
Use the WSD keys on the keyboard to move. Shift the dash. G to throw grenades.
I was too focused on Kazuki to listen to what she was saying.
Okay, try it. Maybe.
Kazuki started the game without me. I was placed into a lobby while the game matched me with someone else, but only for a second before it threw me right into the middle of a match. What's going on? I was so caught off guard that I panicked a little. And when I moved, the screen was jerky. It was really hard to control. Even if I found someone to try and shoot, they'd shoot me first and I'd die. I ended the game with 0 kills and 31 deaths. That was not good. I don't know how Kazuki manages to play and the screen is just jerky. The computer specs aren't nearly good enough. I think I understand why it bothers her so much now.
Takura-senpai, you suck. Maybe.
Damn. I'm just a beginner and the screen's really jerky. I couldn't stop thinking about what was touching my arm, so I couldn't concentrate. She kept whispering, "Not that way, dummy, no, not there," in my ear all the while, too. And your hand's been on top of mine the whole time. Kazuki's right hand been on top of mine during the whole game. Kazuki seemed to finally notice how close we were. You'd know! She was right next to me, so close I could feel her breathing. Her eyes went wide and her face flushed red. Her breath tickled my cheek. Neither of us had showered in 2 days, so I could...
No. No. No.
Couldn't take my...
No.
Just had to be bad. Kazuki! I... Oh dear. Help! Suddenly the intercom rang. I came back to my senses and leaped away from Kazuki. That scared me. But it saved me too. If I hadn't interrupted, I might have... Stop.
No. You stop it right now.
Yep. Kazuki glanced at me as I tried frantically to calm myself down, then picked up the intercom receiver. Wait, she doesn't talk on the intercom either. How the hell is she able to communicate with anyone then? Kazuki slowly put down the receiver. It looked like she'd somehow managed to communicate with them. She then turned toward me, and looked like something was troubling her. No, it's okay to talk. Please talk, actually.
Nono-senpai is here, maybe.
That's right. Just talk normally. It'll take more than a word or two to doom me. Huh? Kurusu is here? I am doomed! Shit. Why would Kurusu visit Kazuki's room? Naturally, there was only one reason. Help.
You weren't at school, you weren't at your RV, you weren't at the dorm, or Serika's place, or even Itoken's place. Which means that this was would be my next choice. You don't have a lot of friends, so I can't imagine what you'd go to that wasn't in the newspaper club. I honestly never believed I'd find you here in Kazuki's room, though.
I was relieved to see that Kurusu looked healthy. I probably didn't have to worry about her knife wound anymore. However, she was mad. This was the extra mad version of Kurusu. I knew it was my own fault for calling Serika once on Tuesday morning and then ignoring everyone's calls after that point. I really wanted to run away, but I obviously couldn't.
So, are you willing to talk about this? First, what are you doing in Kazuki's room?
That's where she wants to start. She doesn't care about what happened after I was attacked by the pyrokinetic.
Tucker, answer me.
It just kind of turned out that way.
Does that have something to do with what happened on Monday?
Kazuki and I both nod at the same time.
I see. But do you really think it's appropriate for a high school boy to stay in a girl's room for 3 whole days?
A good point. You really can tell she's a student council president.
You didn't think it would bother Kazuki? Well...
Kazuki shook her head. She was embarrassed for some reason. Evidently, she hadn't thought it was a bother. Really? You're not just saying that because he's older than you? Kazuki kept shaking her head. She seemed to have no intention of talking. Are you two maybe, are you dating? Is that it? Both Kazuki and I shook our heads as hard as we could. Well, I do understand where she probably got that idea.
I see.
For some reason, Kurusu looked a little relieved. Kurusu?
Tucker, you're okay now, right?
By okay, she probably was referring to what happened on Monday. I was sure she'd been worried too. I'm okay, I think. The woman who attacked us isn't in Shibuya anymore, probably. Of course, I didn't say that it was because we'd accidentally killed her. Then why not come to school? Serika and Ito-kun are both worried. If you're worried about being home alone, you can come to Alba dorm. I can't do that. It's possible that woman was after me from the start. Even if the odds were low now, they weren't 0. So, if I'm with you in Anoe, I might get you involved. And Dad, Yui, and Yuto are at Alba dorm.
So it's okay to get Kazuki involved then?
Well, I already got her involved, so... Kurusu stared at my clothes. I hadn't changed out of the blood-stained shirt since Wednesday. It was only natural that Kurusu would be worried about that.
So you really were involved in what happened at school then?
I nodded. What exactly happened? Kazuki and I looked at one another. Kazuki quickly looked down. I need to keep her power, and what we'd done at the school on Monday a secret. She saved me. That means they might come after her too. That's all I can say. Part of that is to keep you and Yara safe. Please understand.
It's the same story as always, huh?
Kurusu gave me a sad look. What?
It's nothing.
Kurusu, Kazuki suddenly offered us both a lollipop. She was trying to say that these were for us, evidently.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
まったく。
She
セ
can be
リ
a
カ
bit
とは
like
違う
Serica
意味でマイ
sometimes.
ペースな子ね。
Kurusu chuckled inside, then took the lollipop. She didn't put it in her mouth, though. I took it, unwrapped it, and then plopped it into my mouth. Tasted like strawberry. A cloyingly sweet flavor soon filled my mouth.
カズキはタクル
Kazuki,
に
are you
迷
sure
惑か
Takuru's
け
not
られて
causing
ない
trouble for you? If there's something you
こ
want
の
to say,
際
you
だ
can
から
say it.
言いたいこといいの
You sure?
そう
I see. Takuru may be
タ
your
クル
senior
はあ
at
なた
school,
にと
but
って
this is
先
your
輩だ
room.
けど
Feel free to
こ
set
こ
the
はあな
ground
たの部
rules.
屋なんだからそれとカズキ
And Kazuki,
あ
are
な
you
た
bathing properly?
お風呂入ってる 入ってないでし
You're
ょ
not, are you? Is it
タ
because
クルが
Takuru's
いる
here?
せい
Kazuki's face became beet red as she shook her head. It wasn't my fault. It's because she'd been busy playing too many video games. Bro,
私がタクルのこと見張っているから
I'll keep an eye on Takuru, so why not take a shower now?
その後で買い出しに行っ
After
てくれ
that, I'll
ば
go shopping. You don't have
ど
any
う
real
せちゃ
food,
んと
right?
した
I'll
食
make
事
you
して
something
ないでしょ
simple.
タクルの着替えも
Takuru
必
needs to
要
change
で
his
しょ
clothes too.
あ、それ
Oh,
は
that would be great.
ほらカズキ
Come on,
さ
Kazuki,
さっと
get going
動いて
already. Kazuki practically shoved Kazuki into the bathroom. Before long, I heard the sound of falling water. This is awkward. It's already awkward enough being here with Kurusu, but I can hear almost every sound Kazuki's making as she showers.
カズキは
I wonder,
タクルに
has
心を
Kazuki
開いた
opened
の
up
か
to
し
you?
らセリカと違って
She's not like
カ
Serica.
ズキは誰
She
に対
puts
し
up
ても
walls with
壁を作って
everyone.
いるからあの子を見ていると
Sometimes when I see her, I wonder if inviting
新
her to
聞
join
部
the
に加
newspaper
入して
club
よ
was
か
a
った
good
のか
idea.
なって
そういえば
Come to think of
和
it,
樹
you
を
were the
こ
one
こ
who
に
brought
連
her
れ
to
てき
the
たのっ
club.
てクルスだ。
え
Yeah, it was a few days after school year started.
何日その日は風
The
が
wind
強
was
くて
blowing really hard that day. She
あ
was
の
carrying a
子
huge pile of
一人で
handouts
プ
and
リ
the
ン
wind
トの
caught them
山
and
を
blew them
運んでいたん
away.
だけどだから拾
So
う
I
のを
helped
手
her pick
伝
them
っ
up.
てあげたのでも
But
あの通
she
り
doesn't talk at all,
全く
you know.
喋らないでし
So I
ょ
was worried about her and went with her to
こ
the
の子
teacher's
大丈
office.
夫かなってそしたら
And then
カズ
Kazuki
キが
couldn't
何も
talk.
言えないのをいいことに
Since Kazuki
担
couldn't
任の
talk,
先生
the
から
teacher started
余計
asking her
な
to
こ
do
と
all
まで
the
あれ
this
これ
other
頼まれ
stuff.
ちゃっていてカズキが断れ
I
ない
got
って言
upset
った
about
の
how
を見かねて
Kazuki couldn't
口を出
refuse
したの
and interrupt them.
そんなことがあって
Then later, I said
部
if she
活
wasn't
に
in the
入っ
club,
てい
she
な
could
い
try
な
the
ら
newspaper
新
club.
聞部においでおとなしそうだったから
She looked like a
部
quiet
活動
girl,
とか
so
興味
I
ないか
thought
も
maybe
っ
she
て
would
思って
want to be in
た
a club.
そしたら
So when she
何
suddenly
日か
showed
し
up
て
several
部
days
室
later,
に
I
ひょ
was
っこり
surprised.
顔を出したから私の方
So
がびっ
that's how
く
it
りしちゃっ
happened.
た
That's just like Kurusu, alright.
でも
But
あ
I
の
never
子
know
が
what
何
she's
を考えて
thinking.
いるのか私に言われて
So I
仕
still wonder if
方
she
なく
only
新
joined the
聞部に
newspaper
入っ
club
たんだ
because
っ
I
た
told
ら
her
どうし
to.
ようって
本人は毎日部室に来てい
She's
るんだ
there
から
every day,
嫌々
so
っていうことはな
I
いと思
don't
う。
think she hates it. Her main reason was probably to play video games. But now I knew why Kurusu was more concerned about Kazuki than anyone else in the club.
和樹はきっと
I think Kazuki's
クルスに
grateful to you.
その
Well, I don't
感
know
謝して
for
るん
sure,
じゃない
but
かって僕
I
は
was
思う
mumbling
よ。
and stumbling over my words
Yeah,
because it
man,
kind of felt like I was talking about
実際は
myself. Take care of
Kazuki のこ
Kazuki,
と
okay?
お願い仲良くしてあげて
Be her friend.
分かってるよ。
I know. We're in
同
the
じ
same
部
club
員な
after
んだ
all.
し。
Surely is a kind-hearted meddler. But that's exactly why everybody counts on her so much as the student council president. Suddenly the door of the bathroom opened and Kazuki came tumbling out. Look! New outfit!
ずいぶん早いわ
How's
ね
fast? It
5
hasn't
分
even
も
been
経っ
5
てないん
minutes.
じゃない
Has it?
ちゃん
Did
と
you wash
髪
your
洗
hair?
ったの
Her hair was a little wet, and her cheeks were a little flushed from the hot shower. Smell a pleasant scent of shampoo. Shampoo. Why did she look a little cuter than usual now she was out of shower?
ほら
Come on,
ちゃ
dry
ん
your
と
hair
髪拭きなさい
properly.
そんなに慌てて出て
Don't
こな
need
く
to
て
get
も
out so
よかったの
quickly.
に
I mean, honestly, I just leave my hair wet whenever I get out of the shower. I know I probably shouldn't, but I just kind of wipe it a little bit with the towel, and then I stop. I don't know why I do that, mind you. Kazuki fidgeted as she let Kurusu dry her hair. And then, her stomach rumbled. Both Kurusu and I
お
burst
腹
out
空いたの
laughing.
ね
You're that hungry,
いい
huh?
わ
Okay, I
Takuru
gotta
の
get
着替
some
えも
clothes for
取りに行かな
Takuru.
きゃいけ
I'll
な
do
いし
some shopping while I'm out.
ついでに食べたい Is there something you want to eat? Anything's okay, right?
For some reason, Kazuki got on the ground and bowed in gratitude. About an hour later, Kurusu came back and made us a simple meal. Yippee! The table was lined up with fried ginger pork, tofu, and onion miso soup, and spinach salad.
I
used some really simple recipes, so I can't guarantee you that'll be good. She was being modest, but I knew exactly how good at cooking Kurusu really was. After all, not too long ago, she cooked for me every day. And Kurusu was best at simple dishes like these. She'd make several of them in the blink of an eye. Kazuki was looking at Kurusu's face to see if it was okay to eat. Go ahead. Kazuki put her hands together and bowed her head. She rarely said anything, but she had a good table manners. She took a bite of the ginger pork. And after just one bite, her face broke out into a grin. Yum. I've never seen Kazuki smile like that before. I felt like I was seeing something really rare. She hadn't eaten any real food for the past 2 days, and normally she only ate lollipops and dried squid. Kurusu's cooking must have been a real feast for her.
I'm guessing you like it. I'm glad. Eat too, Tucker. You're a growing boy.
She was in her big sister mode now. But for now, I would be the obedient little brother. My top priority at this moment was filling my stomach. Kazuki was staring at Kurusu as if in a trance. A small piece of ginger pork is still sticking out the side of her mouth. I'd already learned from Cook.
Hello?
Look at a woman. Hold up. Wait. Kazuki like girl? No. There's no way. She's probably just looking at Kurusu because she...
Yo, what was going on?
Kazuki, stop spacing out, Shiofred. And get your elbows off the table. It's bad manners.
Hey, Kurusu. Kazuki really is grateful to you for asking her to join the newspaper club. After being with her the whole time for the past 3 days, I finally was starting to feel like I understood Kazuki. Disaster struck Shibuya 2 days after that. Oh boy, here comes the horrors once again. The two of us were watching the afternoon news when they suddenly switched to a live broadcast near Shibuya Station. A young female reporter was leading a cameraman up to the twisty, thin street that ran from the station to Dogonzaka. The text on the screen said, "Mysterious object appears in Shibuya. What is it?" Oh no. No! Not another teleport device! Why?
I'm here on a street that's 3-minute walk away from Shibuya Station.
Oh god, don't tell me that these are going to start spreading everywhere and it's going to cause chaos. Because that's what I'm starting to think is going to happen. Oh no.
Look at this mysterious object.
Don't touch it. The reporter pointed to the 1-meter tall object that was floating at the end of the street. Both Kazuki and I recognized it at once. We'd seen it ourselves just a few days before.
Portal device.
Kazuki looked shocked. How? Now the question is, why is that there? What worries me is I think it's her power at work, but it's like she said, she's not controlling it. It's the contagious factor of it, isn't it? The contagious factor that Takumi mentioned. About how it's, how it can spread. Anyone who knows about ESO2 becomes capable of making this thing a reality, I feel. And it's going to start spreading like wildfire soon. Her gaze was frozen on the TV screen. What's going on? There's no way the portal device can be on the street near the station. We saw it on the top of the school.
This object was discovered after an anonymous call this morning.
The young reporter moved in front of the device and continued to speak.
The police, after a thorough investigation, have blockaded the area. The police say that it might be a bomb. But it looks very pretty, don't you think? It's glowing with a strange, dreamy light. I'd love to see what it looks like at night, personally. What's particularly odd is that it doesn't seem like there doesn't seem to be anything supporting it. It appears to be floating in the air. How does it do that?
Hey, what's that? The cameraman on the TV show was never supposed to speak, but this one did. The reporter stopped talking and turned around to face the portal device. The camera showed that it was changing. Uh-oh. The whole portal device was starting to emit a golden light. Look, the object is, shining brighter than before. What happened? The scene is in an uproar.
Stay back! It's dangerous! Stay back!
A police officer is telling us to stay back.
This is bad, isn't it?
But it's so pretty. Let's go take a closer look.
Wait, no!
The reporter gave a signal to the cameraman and started to walk toward this device. I gulped as I waited to see what would happen next. It's not a good idea to get close to that, I said in my mind. Of course, no matter what I said here, the reporter on the screen couldn't hear me. Oh no. What do you suppose is making it shine like that? When you look closer, you can see tiny particles of light swirling around it, like it's art. Oh, the particles are coming together. Wow, it's so pretty. It's like one of those things in old sci-fi movies. What do you call them? Holograms? Is this shape supposed to be some kind of animal? Or maybe it's a dinosaur? The reporter was as chipper as ever. She was speaking in the same way she'd do a food report at a local restaurant. I don't like where this is going. I had a very bad feeling about this. Same. I could see death flags popping up everywhere. And I couldn't help but remember the last look on that woman's face before she disappeared a few days ago. If that object on the screen was the same thing, then this reporter was going to disappear as well. I looked away, not wanting to see it. Huh? I could hear the reporter raise her voice in surprise. I looked back at the monitor. Sorry, I kind of froze trying to process what I was seeing. So, Kazuki, is it possible that bringing something from ESO2 into reality is making other things from ESO2 become reality? Because I think ESO2 is starting to become reality at this rate. I think, because that's a dragon. That's just a dragon. Well, Wellington. And bore witness to a monster I'd never seen before. I thought I'd switch the channel somehow, but I could see the reporter on the same screen as the monster. At first I thought it was CG. That's how unreal it seemed. It looked like a dinosaur. Its skin was bright red, its legs were as big as a human torso. It had giant wings on its back. Its wicked-looking black horns bent inward towards its jaw. There were 5 golden orbs like jewels shining on its forehead. I couldn't see any eyes where you might expect them to be. Even on 4 legs, it was over twice the height of a human, and there were fangs in its huge mouth. The particles of light had come together to form that monster. A TV camera had captured every second of it. If that wasn't CG, it was too unrealistic. It felt terribly out of place. Yet the monster was moving in a believable way, like a genuine animal. Run. I whispered without even thinking about the fact that she couldn't hear me. But the reporter was getting excited instead. Wow, what a kind of magic's going on here? You're about to die! This big lizard, dinosaur, it appeared right out of nowhere. It's huge and it's moving. It's like the real thing. I'm really not sure how... Okay! I didn't... Who's eating her? Kazuki? Your power's gone a little too crazy. Because dragons are real now. It was eating her. The poor had gotten too close to it and had bitten her head. Suki suddenly screamed in terror. The monster finished gnawing on the reporter's head and then grabbed the headless body in its mouth and shook it violently. Yeah, run, you idiots! The cameraman screamed and the video shook violently too. He must have thrown down the camera and ran. The image was a fixed shot of the monster's legs and the bloody head lying on the ground. And then... the monster roared. Its thick legs started to move. It kicked the woman's head away. And then stepped onto the camera, cutting out the video. So, there's now just a dragon out and about. Oh dear. Kazuki, has this ever happened before? And if it has, please tell me how we stop it. Then the TV switched back to showing the studio where the newscasters and commentators were pale and sickly looking.
No shit.
Soon the image changed to a picture of a field of flowers. So the message, please. Kazuki, how do we fix your power? This is a nightmare. That was a live broadcast, right? That means all that really just happened. Kazuki was covering her mouth with her hands and shaking. Her eyes were fixed on the TV screen. What was that? Kazuki slowly turned toward me. But she was too shocked to speak. What was that? I ran over to her and started to shake her shoulders. She forced out the words with tears in her eyes. A flame arc dragon, maybe. Yeah, it's a dragon. There's just a dragon now. Kazuki, please tell me this thing can be easily killed in the game. Please? Because at least with, like, guns and stuff, like, surely the police or maybe an army can kill it, right? Right? Your power didn't accidentally spawn a terrifying, invincible, like, super boss dragon, right? Right?
It's a monster from ESO2. It's a rare monster, but you see in the start of the game, so every ESO2 player knows it. Maybe. That means my illusions are still... They're still echoing. Oh god, that's what you mean. That's what it's like. What that means is that... oh no. It started with just a teleporter, but then it echoed. A teleporter from ESO2 exists in reality. Somebody else probably thinks then, what if other things from ESO2 exist? Like that dragon. And then suddenly, the delusion echoes. The dragon's real. And now other things are going to start appearing. Oh my god, your power is terrifying. I hope... I just now realized there's a good chance your power could have just ended the world just now, because the more people talk about ESO2 monsters, the more they're going to come to life. Right? I really hope nothing like ultimately powerful comes into reality, because otherwise, this planet's screwed. So a fictional monster has become real. But Kazuki didn't make any kind of wish like that on Monday night. So where exactly did it come from? Did the words she said change somehow? Kazuki can't control her own powers. I remember what Neihard said and shuddered. All that matters is it's part of ESO2. A minute later, I booted up ESO2 and saw that Neihard was logged in as well. Neihard, we need to talk! I decided to talk to him immediately. Did you see the news this afternoon on Fujisan TV? Not in real time. I saw what got uploaded to the net later. That channel's having a festival. Things are starting to go the way they did 6 years ago. Remember the Dokkan puzzle? Read the wiki. Right, the Dokkan puzzle.
The Dokium puzzle, we ended up figuring out how that murder really occurred. It was because it was the three hooligans, and it was whoever band's partner was that was really like on the cult side. But using the delusional machine or whatever, he made a monster from Spark Wars appear, like the Star Wars ripoff. He made a monster from Spark Wars appear and cut them up. He's right. It's just like what happened then, in a way, where a monster from something in fictional has become non-fictional. The problem is that during that time, that monster disappeared. It stayed for the delusion of killing them, and then it vanished as soon as the delusion was over. But I don't think this one's disappearing. This one's not vanishing. It's still here. One asshole. Then again, I guess I was the same when I was pursuing the return of the New Gen Madness with the newspaper club, so it's not like I have any right to talk. Jokes aside, the news broadcast was bad news. This isn't just about Shibuya anymore. The committee might take action. Oh, you're right. Who? The Committee of 300. You know him? Mm-hmm. No. Basically, they're a vast organization that controls the world from the shadows. Sounds like bullshit. 100% agree. But it exists anyway. And they might take action. Might be a war, possibly. A war. Don't know what you mean. You might be happier not knowing. I'll look into it on my side. If something comes up, I'll tell you. What are the chances it's because of Kazuki's power? The hell else could it be? You saw that portal device. Yeah. Just so we're sure, the portal device didn't move. This is a second one, right? Yes, I just had a friend go look for me, and it was still there. Gotcha. So do you think it's possible we'll see the woman who attacked us again? You mean she might not really be dead? I get it. You're seriously thinking she might have got sent to another portal device. Haha, silly man, insert ASCII art. Isn't it possible there was a second portal device that appeared on Monday night and we just didn't notice it? I know I said I was sure she was dead before because there was only one portal. But even if there were two, I can't imagine her surviving a teleport. If you could actually real boot something like that, it would be the greatest discovery in human history. I want it for myself. But that monster doesn't exist either, and it's out there. Huh, got me. Got me there. The F Archdrag that ate the reporter ate a cop after that. F Archdrag? Flame Archdragon. Duh. If it can make a dragon, it should be able to make another portal device. She might still be alive. Why not go look then? Find out how many portal devices have appeared in Shibuya. Find out if anything besides the F Archdrag real booted. Oh, I can't help, by the way. Gotta grind in ESO too. You're an asshole, Takumi. Were you supposed to look into the Committee of 300? Yeah, obviously. I was trying to end things with a gag so this wouldn't get too serious. Sorry, but I'm not in Shibuya right now. If the committee intervenes, it's gonna get bad real fast. So I'm gonna spend my time on that. Tell Kazuki there's no need to play ESO 2 for a while. Well, you suck, Nightheart. A vast conspiracy that controls the world from the shadows, huh? Yep. That sounds like bullshit. Even movies don't have plots like that these days. Motherfucker, we just saw a dragon. But since there's nothing I can do about that, I'll just leave that to Nightheart. What's more important to us right now is that portal device. Portals and dragons are now real in this reality. Investigate, huh? Kazuki was looking angrily at the log of my conversation with Nightheart. I gritted my teeth too. Even if we do investigate the portal device, what are we supposed to do with after that? If it was real booted by Kazuki's delusion, will we even be able to destroy or get rid of it? I guess the question is, if Kazuki could get control of her power, would she be able to basically deactivate anything that was real booted by it? That's the question. Is it possible that her power could be used to neutralize anything that was real booted because of it? Because currently we only know of two big problems because of the ESO2 portal, which is the portals themselves and the dragon. There's a dragon out and about, and portals are probably going to start appearing everywhere. And the more people that start talking about ESO2 stuff in real life in the game, the more that shit's going to start appearing. So, yeah. Well, that's part of what we're investigating, I suppose. Even if she can't control her powers, it was Kazuki who created it. She can't just pretend to ignore it. There's even a dragon running around now. More people could die. I guess we don't have a choice. We might be attacked out of nowhere, like we were before. That's why I really don't want to leave, but I'm not selfish enough to just leave something that dangerous out there and hide here forever. Alright. I ran to Harajuku and got a cell phone so I'd be able to keep in touch with the others, and then called Serika after school.
Oh, what's up, Taku? You like coming to school? That's too bad. They closed it after lunch.
Closed it?
Shibuya was sealed off, you know? So they closed the school too.
I see. Where are you now, Noi?
Alex, this place isn't sealed off.
Perfect. I need your help. I then told her that I wanted to know about... Oh, how many portal devices appeared in Shibuya?
How am I helping, but...
What?
Nacha is right in front of me and she's telling me not to do anything dangerous. I can feel silent pressure telling me to put her on the phone.
I see. So that was where Kurusu was right now. Of course, I could understand why she'd be mad. Just like Serika had said, after the shocking incident on the news this afternoon, the police had sealed off Shibuya over the course of a few hours. The number of people on the streets was dropping fast. Supposedly, the National Diet was holding a debate about bringing in the self-defense forces. There's a fucking dragon going about, yes! Of course, they still hadn't gotten rid of the portal devices or the flame arc dragon. Kurusu probably wanted to tell me that there was nothing an amateur like me could do. But this wasn't like the other investigations the newspaper club had done. I glanced over at Kazuki. She was looking down silently. You may not believe this, but the monsters that showed up might be because of Kazuki and I.
Huh? What do you mean?
Can't talk much about it. Just know that we're not doing this because we're curious. I want to find a way to get rid of that monster and those devices.
I see.
I guess that wasn't enough to convince her. Or so I thought.
Okay, I'll persuade Nanchan.
Really?
Oh, and Shinchan really wanted you to call him. Why not ask for help? I'm sure he'd love it.
Okay, yeah, I'll try.
Are you gonna stay here with Hana-chan? Are two of you going to work together?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Alright, maybe I'll go from Shinsen towards Shibuya Station. I can have a walking date with Nanchan.
Thanks. But if you find a portal device, make sure you stay away from it.
Okay.
And be back home before sunset. Tell Kurusu that too.
Okay.
You actually understand? You've got a bad habit of doing whatever you feel like sometimes.
Do I? Maybe I do. But you know, I'm good at being sneaky. I'm sure nobody will find me.
I know that, but just be careful.
Okay, I'll report in tomorrow.
I'm guessing school's closed tomorrow too, right? If so, let's all meet up in the club around noon.
Okay.
After I finished giving my instructions to Serika, I made the same call to Ito. When I asked for his help, he was a little too eager to agree. He seemed like he'd been really bored the past few days. He also said that his frustration had been building up too. So I had him head north from Ebisu towards Shibuya Station. Once I'd finished telling him everything he needed to know, I hung up. Alright. Kazuki, time for us to go too. We decided to head from the dorm to the station, checking every back street and alley we found along the way. Let's look for portals. The first thing we did was head for the school. It was dead silent. There wasn't a single car. Not only were there no Hekiho students, there weren't even any pedestrians. Had Shibuya ever been this empty since the earthquake? 6 years ago, there had been a rubble everywhere, and I'd felt so alone as I faced what felt like the end of the world. But this seemed different. It didn't feel lonely. It felt uncomfortable. The town was still pristine, but all the people were gone. It was like a ghost town. All the shops had their shutters lowered. Seemed that they'd closed for the day. Everyone had run off as fast as they could. It made sense, considering what they had just seen on live TV. We tried to pay as much attention to our surroundings as possible as we head forward. On the bright side, I would say there is a silver lining to the quiet. It's a dragon. I can't imagine a dragon can be that quiet. So if it's nearby, you'll more than likely hear it, because again, it's a dragon. I doubt it's going to be try and be silent. So it would be pretty easy to tell if it's nearby. At least I would think. We were especially careful at intersections. Another monster like that dragon could come rushing out of the shadows at any instant. If we ran into one of them, we wouldn't stand a chance. I don't even know if the D-swords would hurt. I could hear the faint sound of someone yelling into a microphone in the distance. The Shibuya area is extremely dangerous at this time. Please stay indoors and evacuate to the designated safe zones. I could see a police car in the distance, moving slowly. There was probably an officer inside the car using his microphone to urge people to evacuate. The car was slowly heading toward us. If we stayed out here, the policeman would tell us we had to leave Shibuya. That would be the end of our investigation. Katsuki, this way. I ducked into a narrow alleyway so the car wouldn't find us. I felt like a criminal running from the police. Although, if the appearance of this other portal device was really was our fault, maybe that wasn't totally wrong. Guys. There's another portal device. We ran left and right through the maze of alleyways and finally came out in front of Parku. I guessed what I saw there and quickly hid in the shadows. Guys. Kazuki wasn't as quick as I was, so I grabbed her hand and pulled. I ended up pulling her tightly up against my body with my arms around her. Sorry. I quickly let go. Kazuki didn't seem bothered by it. She just adjusted her glasses. Did you see that? His stomach quietly popped my head out to take a look. Oh, great! Another dragon! There was another portal device in front of Parku, and around it were 3 monsters. Great! One was a yellow and black dragon. Was it a different colored version of the flame-marked dragon that had eaten the reporter? Now that I saw it up close, I was astonished at its size. The other two are 2-legged giants covered in thick white fur, a little less than 3 meters tall. Their arms were as thick as tree trunks. Fortunately, none of them seemed to have noticed us.
Poison Arc Dragon and 2 snow liches, maybe.
This has gone so far out of hand so quickly. My goodness. Not only are there portals everywhere now, but there are monsters everywhere. Are they both ESO2 monsters? Kazuki nodded. I really did feel like I was looking at a computer model. Hey, Kazuki, quick question. There wouldn't happen to be anything like super bosses or like evil gods in ESO2, right? Right? Please tell me no. Didn't seem real. Kind of stinks. I smelled something kind of rotten. It was a stinging stench that hung in the nose. I could see several red lumps around the feet of the monsters. I looked closely to see what they were and quickly realized that they had once been human, but now they were just bloody lumps of flesh. They had been crushed, torn apart, and left there. And it was more than just 1 or 2 people. There were at least 10 of them lying on the ground. When the number of portals devices had increased, so had the number of victims. Only then did I finally realize that the stench was coming from the corpses. It was so awful I wanted to throw up. I had seen a reporter die on the news today. It was shocking, sure, but it also felt like I was just watching a movie. It hadn't seemed real. But this smell was different. It was all too real. It told me what I was seeing was real before my brain had even started to process it. But I couldn't just continue standing here in shock. I need to continue my investigation. That's the 3rd portal we've seen so far. Which means it's safe to assume there's a 4th and a 5th. How many of them are we going to find? Ito might be fine, but what about Serkan and Kurusu? Maybe asking them for help was a mistake. I didn't realize that Shibuya has become so dangerous. Do you think there's any way of getting rid of them? Kazuki shook her head helplessly.
It would be best if we could get rid of them, maybe. I don't know if we can.
What have you done before? You've made other things become real before, right? What happened to them? Do they just keep existing, or did they suddenly disappear? For some reason, Kazuki smiled. Her smile was a mix of sadness and resignation. That was the only answer I needed. She seemed to be saying that there was no way we'd be lucky enough that they'd just disappear. Great. So, is Shibuya going to be like this forever? Suddenly I heard the faint noise of a car engine behind me. Just as I spun around... Uh-oh. I heard the roar of a beast drowning out. I looked down the hill and... Oh shit! I saw a patrol car barreling toward us at top speed. Behind it were 5 or so monsters storming after it. What is that? There are other monsters. And they're not just wandering around near the portal device, but they're moving around the city. All 5 of them were the same types as the ones near the portal device. 3 were hairy giants and 2 were dragons. Wait, they're heading this way! They're really fast too. Even the police car can't shake them off. Wait, that means the car's bringing the monsters toward us. We're screwed!
It's just like you so. Anyone who trains is a jerk or an idiot, maybe.
Now's not the time! I didn't know if it was a common thing that people did, but I understood the nuance. Hide, let them spy. I pulled Kazuki by the hand and ran down the stairs to a shop that sold grilled beef tongue. Hide! At the bottom of the stairs was the entrance to the store, but all the lights were off inside. We hid inside and waited for them to pass. I couldn't see what was going on outside from here. My only option was to rely on the sound. I could hear the sound of the police car and the sound of the monster's footsteps shaking the earth. Kazuki gripped my hand tightly. If they managed to find us, just imagining it made me shiver. I don't think those huge monsters can fit down these tiny stairs, but was hiding down here a good idea? There's nowhere to run if they see us. Kazuki and I instinctively clutched each other tightly, holding our breaths and focusing on the sounds outside. I could hear the squeal of tires as the police car turned down the intersection in front of us. The monsters howled again. The earth shook even more violently. Please don't notice us. All I could do was pray. The sounds got further away. I couldn't hear the police car either. Are they gone? We're saved. You okay? It was then that I realized that Kazuki was clinging to me. Or more specifically, I'd been clinging to her. I was holding her so tight that her chest was heaving up and down in pain. Sorry! I quickly backed away. Kazuki fidgeted a little and took several deep breaths. I bet that Mikata's Kenji-sensei, the cool cat press author, would have been able to come up with a perfect dandy remark to say, "Now's not the time!" I walked up to the stairs and took another look at the portal device in front of Parko. The monsters were gone. The police car had drawn away the 3 monsters that were around the device. We might be able to make it past now. The 2 of us looked at one another and ran up the stairs. But as we tried heading down towards Spain Hill, we saw something odd and froze. The portal device was shining with a strange golden light. I could hear a loud noise like clashing metal. I watched in shock as the light around the portal device began to coalesce into a monster. It was the same thing I'd seen on the news. Which meant that... Another one's coming out! I motioned to Kazuki and we quickly turned back. By the time we made it back to school, we were both too out of breath to run anymore. Are these monsters going to keep appearing? If so, then maybe no one will be able to live in Shibuya anymore. And it'll be all our fault. I suddenly heard a brief blast from a siren. It was another police car. Was it the one that had been training the monsters earlier? But I didn't see any monsters around. The police car stopped in front of us. The driver's side window opened and the officer within spoke to us.
Did you and our car come this way?
Kazuki and I both nodded.
Where did you see it? Which way did it go?
In front of Parku. I didn't know which way it had gone since I hadn't seen it myself. As we stood there in silence, the policeman motioned to us.
Get inside, you two. It's dangerous out here. I'll take you somewhere safe.
But
Do you want to get killed? There are monsters everywhere. Come on, get in.
I almost told him that he should blame the police car that had been training back there, but I changed my mind. This policeman was risking his life to try and protect us. He was fighting to get people out of the city, even if it meant facing the risk of being attacked by those horrific monsters. I couldn't turn him down just because I wanted to continue my investigations. Okay, the next day, we all gathered in the club room. There are monsters everywhere, people! Ito said that they had come all the way around from Harajuku. That was pretty smart of him. It wasn't safe to walk around Shibuya anymore, after all. The school itself was supposed to be closed, which made sense because of the portal device on the roof. But strangely enough, no monsters had appeared from the school's portal device. I had no idea why that was the case, though.
Are you good? Yeah, what have you seen? The horrors?
Did you witness the horrors too, Kurusu? Kurusu looked pale. Whenever I looked at her, she was silent and concerned. But I figured that was no normal reaction to what was currently happening in Shibuya.
Do not smile! I do not want to see this idiot's happy face in a situation like this. There are terrifying potentially world-ending monsters outside. In contrast, Ito didn't look tired at all. Whenever my eyes met his, he would poke me with his elbow.
Hey, so when'd you and Kazuki get like that?
Get
like what? Don't try to fool me. I never thought you'd become a normie, and now you've gone and left me behind. Still, I'm amazed it was Kazuki, not Noe or the Empress. I didn't expect her to be your type. So what? Are you feeding each other dried squid with your mouth? That's pretty naughty, damn it. What the hell is he talking about? Is he stupid? Ito-kun.
It's time to die. I'm throwing you out the window and feeding you to the monsters. We don't need you right now. I'll see you in another ending, gamer. I'll see you in another room. Kurusu glared at him. The ice in her stare was well below freezing temperature.
If you're going to be discussing, would you please just leave now?
I'm sorry. Kurusu sighed and opened her bag. She brought an especially big bag today. She took some wrapped up boxes out of the bag and put them on the table.
Eat these with Kazuki later.
I unwrapped them and saw that they contained sandwiches.
Sandwich.
I'm fine, though. You're not fine. Do you think the convenience stores and supermarkets are open like usual? If you're not careful, you'll run out of food and be in big trouble. To be honest, I was incredibly grateful. Just like Kurusu had said, none of the stores were open. Last night, we had to go all the way to Tomegaya to get food. Is it just Noe who's not here? Is she okay? He was right. Sarika wasn't here. Oh, that was Ito. Whatever. I just set the meeting time to around noon, so it wasn't like she was late, but I was still worried. Shibuya was swarming with monsters right now. If one of them attacked her on the way to school. Just as I was thinking about going to look for her, the door of the clubroom flung open and Sarika came running in.
Oh, everybody's already here.
You know, hang on, I just realized another thing. What happened to Arimura? It just now occurred to me. What happened to Arimura after the whole, pyrokinetic debacle? Because we haven't seen her since then. We got separated from her when we were getting chased by Hidoriko. And then suddenly she's just gone from the story.
Am I late?
If you're running late, then send us a message. Don't you know what's happening up there?
Sorry. Isn't it kind of Sayuri at school when no one else is around? I just went for a run around the gym.
Is that why she's late? I don't know whether she's brave, thoughtless, or just dumb. I also don't know how she can even laugh at a time like this. Probably because... You know what? I've already said it plenty of times.
Wait, do you not call Hina-chan?
Why would we call Arimura? Oh, well, thanks for explaining the thing I was just talking about. She's not part of the newspaper club.
You were attacked by a woman who shot fire from her hands, right? I wonder if that might have something to do with this.
It does, but to be honest, it really doesn't.
Huh?
That doesn't make any sense. If nothing else, she's not going to attack us again. I think. I'm not fully convinced that we'll never see her again, but still. Arimura was fine after the attack, right?
Yeah, we were there the whole time.
She
stayed at Alba dorm that night.
She was a lot calmer the next morning, so we sent her home.
Alright, then there's no need to worry about her. Alright, can I get started? I asked you all to go search Shibuya yesterday, and I'd like to put together your findings and figure out how many portal devices are in Shibuya. I explained to everyone that they were called portal devices, and also that they came from a game called ESO2.
I don't understand. Can you explain better? What do these portal devices have to do with you and Hana-chan?
There's no real need to explain anything to you, is there, Onoe? You're not going to understand either way.
Alright.
That was good enough for her.
I want to know anyway.
Tucker, please, explain. People are dead. A lot of people. What are those monsters? Oh, I saw them too. We were attacking a cop car. And then there was that first live broadcast. What the hell are those things? Monsters. Literally. More and more showing up all the time. They're multiplying. Seriously? There were bodies everywhere. It was awful. If you're saying that's your fault, then explain. I might be able to talk my way out of explaining things to Serika or Ito, but that's not going to work with Kurusu. I did say on the phone yesterday that the portal devices and monsters might be my fault after all. Kazuki was standing in front of the whiteboard, staring down at her feet. It wouldn't be right to not explain. After all that had happened, there was no way I'd be able to keep it a secret. It would probably just be better to explain things to everyone in the newspaper club. And so I told them everything, including the secret of Kazuki's power. At first, no one seemed to know how to react. After processing it, they all looked shocked. I thought Ito would tell me to stop joking around, but by the time I was halfway done, he was holding his head in his hands. Seriously? This is insane. Do you believe me? I do. I couldn't figure out why you and Kazuki came so close out of nowhere. After all, I can't imagine you convincing Kazuki to be your girlfriend. This explains it.
Is that really what you're focusing on here?
Either way, I'm not interested in discussing whether what I just said is true or not. Let me focus on the portal devices now. Everyone nodded. Okay. Now, I'm going to save here, because apparently I have to make sure I get all map choices correct, or else it, fails. Alright, should we all take turns telling you what we saw? Where we saw any of those, what do you call it? Portal devices? The police actually found us and drove us out of Shibuya yesterday. When I was in the police car, they told me what they knew. After everyone tells me what they saw, I'll compare it to what I heard from them. Alright, I'll start. I found 2 portals. One was floating right in front of the Shibuya police station, down Meiji-dori, down between Ebisu and the train station. Right in front of Shibuya police station, huh? I turned around and headed across Shibuya River towards Sakura Gaukacho. When I tried to cross Roppongi-dori, I saw one at Shibuya Station South Exit Bus Terminal. The South Exit Bus Terminal? Those monsters are nasty, huh? I thought one of the Easter Island statues had gone up and started walking around. In front of the Shibuya Station, police station in Meiji-dori. In the South Exit Bus Terminal at Shibuya Station, right? I should mark this on the map. Oh, jeez, you're gonna make me select this? Oh, for God's sake, seriously? I don't know maps. I'm stupid as hell. Okay, we're gonna have to do this one way or another. Police station on Meiji-dori. So where is Meiji-dori? I don't know how to read maps right. So here's Suime Academy High School. Here's Hekiho. Where is Meiji-dori? I see Meiji Dori here. This is Shibuya Fire Station. This is Meiji Dori down here as well. Shibuya Police Station 6. So I save. I'm saving again. I'm bad at maps, okay? Okay, so in front of the Shibuya Police Station on Meiji Dori. This is Meiji Dori, and this is Shibuya Police Station, so here. Right? 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 It seemed it's happy with that. That one I think was easy, but the next one is not going to be because I'm stupid. The next one is the South Exit Bus Terminal at Shibuya Station, so down south. The South Exit Bus Terminal at Shibuya Station. So that would mean this, right? Down south, right? Right? How about you two, Onoe?
We found two, but one of them was the one from the news yesterday.
That's the one behind Science City, right? I don't know if I got it right, to be honest with you. Science City was a pair of buildings right on the west side of Shibuya Station. It was a hotel and office complex with its own private railroad. It had survived the earthquake 6 years ago. That's right. We went down a tiny alley on our way up through Dogenzaka. In Dogenzaka, huh?
The other one was right in front of 107.
In Dogenzaka. Hmm? And in front of 107. Just mark that information down too. Where the hell is 107? I'm going to keep saving because I don't trust myself on this part. Where does it say 107 anywhere here? 107. Right here, right? Right? Where would ours be? I'm gonna take the risk. Right here. Hmm. That matches what I heard from the police. We found one device. It was right in front of Parku. Hmm. Did I get them all right? Police seem to think that the monsters are active within a 100-meter radius of the portal devices. That was probably just as close as any of them dared to get. Of course, there was a chance that even if you got that close to the monsters wouldn't see you, or that they'd attack you outside that area. Do the police know where all the portals are? Yeah, in addition to the ones you found. Here. 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 They're all kind of close to each other, you think? Don't you notice that? They're all relatively close to each other. That seems about right. Weirdly enough, I almost think I see a snake in the pattern. Like the Hekiho Academy one is supposed to be the head of the snake, and then the rest of it's a body. I weirdly see a snake. I don't know why.
Huh?
Looks like they're surrounding the station.
Does that mean anything?
That's a good point. Does it actually mean anything? They don't want people in Shibuya using the station? Why? Don't ask me.
Hana-chan, do you know?
Could it have something to do with ESO? Like, maybe, like, whatever the goal of ESO 2 is, like, the story or whatever. Could something about it have manifested in reality and that's what the monsters are protecting? Kazuki was still staring at her feet.
Oh, sorry. I'm not saying it's your fault, Han-chan. I was just trying to figure it out.
意図なんてないよ。
There's no meaning.
全ては
It's all
偶然の
coincidence.
産物だ。
I spoke as if to reprove Serica, but it was just as Neihard told me.
説明しただろ。
I told you, remember?
和樹の
Kazuki
能力は
cannot
コントロ
control
ー
her
ルでき
power.
ない。人がよく通る
The
場所
fact
に
that the
装
portal
置が
device is
出
showing
現
up
してい
at
るのが
places
その
people
証
go
拠
to a
だ。
lot is proof
そういう
of
場
that.
所の方が
It's easier for her
和樹の
delusions
妄
to
想
echo
が
in
より
places
反
like
響しや
that.
すい。
I understand.
Don't tell your head in confusion when you say that. You obviously don't understand it all.
でもまずいよな。
Anyway, this is really bad.
まずいって
What are
何
you
が
referring to specifically?
光をにさ
There are a lot of people stuck
人
in
がたくさん集まって
in the
立てこもってるら
Hikari.
しいんだよ。
Huh?
一体誰が
Weren't they supposed to evacuate all the people left in the
駅に残った人たちは
station?
避難させるって話じゃなかったか。
Shibuya had been put under a heavy curfew yesterday. The police had gone around evacuating anyone they could find. Last night, all the train companies had stopped transit to Shibuya Station. They weren't sure the station would be safe. The station had been shut down, the shutters lowered. A lot of people had been trapped then, and there was a big debate online about how to get them out. As of this morning, one of the railroad companies had put together a desperate plan to send a train to the station and get the people out.
それとは別に
I heard there's a
あえ
bunch
て
of
避
people
難
who
しなか
deliberately
った
didn't
連中が
evacuate, and that they're all in the
光
Hikari
集ま
wall.
ってるんだと。ほら、宮
You
下
know
公
there's
園
all
に
those
ホームレ
homeless
スがいっ
people in
ぱいい
Nishiya
ただろ
Park, right?
あの辺の
Those
連
are the
中だ
guys
よ
in the Hikari wall.
なるほどな。
I see.
あ
Don't
そこ
have
にい
anywhere
た
else
人
to
た
go.
ち、みんな帰る
So
場所がない
Gen-san
か
is there
ら。
too. I'm worried about him. Who knows how safe it is to hide there for refuge?
駅って
The
封鎖
station's
され
been
ている
sealed
のよ
off,
ね
right?
なんだか
This is kind of like how
6
things
年
were
前み
6
たい
years ago.
そう思わない
Don't you think so, Taku?
Don't say that. A month ago, I would have been so excited about this situation. But only because I probably wouldn't have been involved. Now things were different. I was partially to blame for this. I couldn't feel any excitement at all. We all tried to come up with plans to fix things, but no one had any real ideas. We knew the answer from the beginning. Since there was no way to control Kazuki's power, there was no way for her to erase the real Buddha delusions. After about 2 hours, we started to realize that it might not be safe to stay at the school and decided to head home.
タクル
Takeru, you don't
あ
have
な
anywhere to
た
go,
帰
do
る
you?
場所ないでしょ
Why not come home?
うちに戻ってきたら
By home, she meant Alba Dorm. She did have a point. I couldn't go back to Miyashita Park. It was likely that there were monsters there now.
タクって今
Taku's staying with
花ちゃ
Han-chan
んの
now,
部屋
right?
にいるんだよ
Hmm.
やらしいよな。
How lewd. Kazuki shook her head furiously.
なあ、宮代。
Hey, Mishiro,
are you taking baths while
you're there? You run into her naked in
脱衣所で風呂上がりにばったり
You know, why the hell is that all you
みたい
care
な
about at a time like
ラッ
this?
キースケベイベントには遭遇したか。
伊藤君
Ito-kun,
いい加減にして
Enough! I don't know if that ever actually
本当に
happens.
あるのか
だってずっと
I mean, they're always
一緒にいる
together,
んだ
right?
ぜ
It wouldn't make sense.
それぐらいのハプニングはあったの。
Ah! Kazuki's face turned bright red as she pounded the wall.
うん
Nothing like that's happened, she says. I see. Sorry.
そりゃ悪かった。
It's rare to see Kazuki so upset.
それでタクル
So,
どうする
Takeru,
の
what will you do?
うちに来る
Come home?
いや、行か
No,
ない。
I won't.
和樹を一人に
I
はできな
can't
い
leave Kazuki alone.
だったら
And
二
both
人
of
と
you
も来
can
ればいい
come.
わ
それもダメ
I
だ。
can't do that. It
寮
might
に
put
危
the
険が
dorm in
及ぶ可
danger.
能性だってある。
そんなことは
It's not.
タクそ
Taku,
れ
are
でいい
you
の
okay with that?
あ、
Yeah.
そっか
Alright, then let's go, everybody. Come on, you too, Nan-chan.
あちょっとセリ
Wait, Saruka!
Why are you playing into this?
バイバ
Why are you playing into this now? I mean, I guess it would still make, knowing her goal to try and make freaking, Takeru feel special, I guess, yeah, sure, this would work. That's for damn sure. There are literal fantasy creatures running around, and you're trying to solve the mystery of how to get rid of them. Yeah, sure, that'll definitely make you feel special, but screw you, Sarika. Sarika smiled and waved and grabbed Ito and Cruz by the hand and went to leave the room.
タクル
Takeru, take care of
Kazuki
Kazuki.
no koto
If something happens,
頼むわよ。
call me right away. Got it?
何かあったら
なあ、
Yeah. Karuzu looks like she wants to say more, but Sarah dragged her out of the room before she could. Kazuki and I were left alone in the club room. Hi. Well, what do you want to do? I just decided that on my own. Was that okay? If you don't want me coming over anymore, tell me. She shook her head again. That was all she'd been doing lately. But then she suddenly started to talk. Even though she'd been so insistent about not talking when everyone else was around, maybe that meant she trusted me. Is Serika-senpai going to be upset? Upset? If you come to my room, Serika-senpai might be upset, maybe. Why? Because you two are dating.
Where the fuck did you get this idea?
Huh?
Huh? No, we are not!
You're always together, maybe.
Because we know each other since we were kids.
You're not dating. I didn't know that, maybe.
Where are you? What? Did Kazuki get mad back there because she didn't want Serika misunderstanding things? If so, then she was wasting her time. So I can't believe you thought that. I'm a little surprised. It didn't seem like you cared about anyone else. Anyway, let's go home. It might be dangerous here. Stop playing! But then I realized Kazuki sat down at the PC to play ESO 2. Kazuki! And she had her headphones on. Wait, when did you start the game? Sheesh. She must have been really excited to play her game. Kazuki's gaze was locked on the monitor. She didn't look away for an instant. Her concentration was palpable. If I interrupted her, she might punch me instead of the wall. I figured it wouldn't hurt to let her play for a while. Since I didn't have much to do while she was playing her game, I decided to go up to the roof. Of course, I didn't go to the back. I just went up past the crumbling stairs to look outside. The portal device was still floating out there. But unlike the one in front of Parku, there were no bodies anywhere. Just a single red stain on the floor. There's something special about this specific teleportation device. It hasn't spawned any monsters like all the other ones have. And it basically atomized, but instead it has killed somebody itself. It atomized Hidoriko, or it did summon her. I refuse to believe she's alive. There's blood. There's a lot of blood. It's like a 99% chance that it's her blood. Even if her body went somewhere, she probably won't have any blood left. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find her body somewhere. But I doubt she's alive. Again, there's way too much blood that... I mean, again, there was blood splatter everywhere, right? Takaru got covered in blood. If that was able to happen, then surely she lost too much blood just from teleporting just to survive. A monster's not going to appear from this one. Why is this one so different? I felt an indescribable terror welling up within me. It was so scary being here alone. I ran back to the club room. Once Kazuki started her game, she wouldn't take her headphones off no matter how much I yelled at her. She was totally lost within her game and had totally forgotten I'd ever existed. That's right, that's who Kazuki Hana really is. She wouldn't normally use her power to save me regardless of the risks or let me stay in her room. Normally this is who she is. I've been living with her in the same room for a few days, so I briefly forgot about that. Still, I'm amazed how she can play a game for so long without any breaks. Doesn't she ever have to go to the bathroom? Actually, I remember... A true gamer would rather keep playing than take the time to go to the bathroom. That sounds exactly like how you, like, ruin your body by, like, bursting your... Don't go in a bottle, you disgusting... Vile! When I saw the article, I thought it had to be fictional. Please piss off. And not into a bottle. But now I'm watching Kazuki like this, I'm not so sure anymore. Wait, is Kazuki ever going soda? Stop! No. What the hell am I thinking?
変なことを考えてるんだ
Ever
僕
since I
は
started living in the same room as her, I've been starting having more and more delusions like that. Maybe it was just because I was boy so...
Fuck's sake.
Why are you bounding? A huge noise almost caused me to jump in the air. Because we could hit the wall again. I'm gonna look at this. Because I think I'm gonna do something. Because I think we're gonna end soon, but I want to do something. You know what? Screw it. I'm curious. We're gonna save the game here. In fact, we're gonna make multiple saves just to be safe. Never hurts to be extra safe, right? We're gonna create 3 different saves to make sure I guarantee got it, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're going to load a save, and we're gonna see what happens if I pick a wrong map call. It says that a bad ending is obtained if you pick a wrong section, and I want to see if it's quick or short. Or if it seems like it's gonna be short, then I'll just play through it. But I want to see this. Plus, I want to see, maybe this will... It's over here! Suime! Over here!
お前たちはどうだった
Oh, you two know...
2つ
You
見つ
two
け
know
た
I
よ。
それってサインシティの裏だったな
survived the earthquake 6 years ago.
道玄坂を上がって、もう一個は、
Rhino
道玄坂
7.
の途中と 107
Front 107. Over here. I'm getting very scared by the
僕が
fact
警察官僕らが直
I'm
接
getting
見つけ
very
たの
scared by
が
the
1個
fact that I'm not
パルク前にあった
that this is all the exact same dialogue because I might have gotten it wrong on the path that we're on. In which case, the problem is that the
警
guide
察はポータ
I
ル装
don't
置を
think it
中心とし
showed
た
anything
警察は
ああ
in regards
みんなが
to
見つ
like
けたもの
what
以
the
外だ
correct
と
answers are. It just said if you pick the wrong ones, you're getting the bad ending. But I don't think it shows like what are the correct answers. Seems about right.
駅をぐるっと取り囲んでるみ
Just
たいだ
surrounding
な
a
なん
station.
か、
Does it actually mean
渋谷
something?
にいる
どうしてね
それは俺に聞かないで
え、花ちゃん。
Hajan, do you know?
あ
Oh
あ、ご
no,
めん
I'm。starting to get
意
worried.
図なんてないよ全ては偶然の差説明しただろ
So you
人がよ
can't
く
control
通る
our
場所にそう
power.
なるほど。
Oh no. Wait.
で
I forgot about this part. The skip button. So we hit the wall again. What happened this time to upset her? Looked outside the window. The sky was turning red. Surprisingly noisy outside. There was a single person inside or outside the school. Wait, this is different, right? Wait. Why am I thinking that's going to show me anything? Mia decided it was too risky to head in Shibuya directly, so they were forced to do their reporting from the sky. So it felt like they'd been there all day, from morning to night. I was amazed at how they hadn't gotten bored. Wait. Suddenly I thought I heard a different noise than the sound of the helicopter rotors. I held my breath and listened. It didn't seem like I was imagining it. I could hear the sound. It was a sound I'd normally never pay any attention to. But a sound that I definitely shouldn't have heard in this building at this point in time. Someone's footsteps were coming down the hall. That was enough to bring back my memory of several days ago. Is that woman still alive? Particularly nasty sweat started to pour out of my body. I tried my best not to make a sound as I concentrated all my focus into my ears. The footsteps didn't sound like the person was wearing heels. I didn't hear any dragging. It wasn't that woman. At least that's what I wanted to believe. But then who? Was someone besides us still in the school? But who?
The others had gone home hours ago. Had they come back? But then, wouldn't they call or text me first? I peeked in the teacher's office when I arrived, and there was no one there. The only other possibility I could think of was that someone besides us had ignored the police warning and stayed in Shibuya. The footsteps were getting closer. I tapped Kazuki on the shoulder and made her take off her headphones. Someone's coming. What should we do? Hide? Run out into the hallway? They probably already know we're here. Nobody would come all the way to the 5th floor of this building otherwise. But then who could they be? Maybe the mastermind who's controlling that woman? If that's the case, then it'd be a bad idea to try and hide. But I really doubt that Kazuki and I would be able to fight them either. In that case, we have to run. It's better than hiding. Kazuki, we're going to run. I saw Kazuki nod and then took a deep breath and opened the door. I ran out into the hallway, but there was someone standing there, and I ran straight into them. Oh no. I lost my balance and almost fell over. Someone grabbed my hand as it flailed out into the air. Are you okay? Huh? It was only then that I realized who it was. Oh, it's you! What are you doing here? Mr. Wakui.
Yeah.
Hey, so it's you guys, huh? The language teacher, who was also the advisor for the newspaper club and student council, looked at us both and grinned. There was a call from some of the parents. Wakui nibbled on the dried squid Kazuki offered him as he explained. I'm starting to get really worried, because this is all... Wait, I'm starting... They were showing shots of Shibuya from the sky on the news, and someone said they saw people in the building. So I can check on you. Sheesh, they can't cut me a break, you know. All I could do was laugh. It was just like Wakui to end up being forced into coming here because he couldn't bring himself to refuse. We managed to make it here because we knew a lot about the situation in Shibuya, but Wakui must have come without doing any research at all. Wrong sayers like him were always the first to die. Too much time in peaceful Japan had addled his brain. What were you doing? They closed the school because it's dangerous. How should I talk my way out of this? There's no point in telling Wakui the truth after all. As I tried to figure out the best way, Kazuki walked back toward the computer and booted up ESO 2 again. Wakui stared at her suspiciously for a moment. Were you playing video games? Kazuki nodded without looking away from the screen. So that's why. You guys know people have died, right? It's safer to be inside the school than outside, right? But wouldn't it be even safer to leave Shibuya altogether? I live in Miyashia Park. Oh, right. There's nowhere you can go. Some relative's place? This conversation is pointless. I've known Wakui since I started a newspaper club. Did I never tell him that I didn't have any relatives? Anyway, I do understand how you feel. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, Shibuya's basically under martial law, right? It's not every day that you get to experience that. Even if you know it's dangerous, you probably still want to experience it. I guess it's one of the follies of youth. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, honestly. Oh, you seem confused to hear that. Just so you know, I was young once too. But I'm not confused. I'm just bored. I get the feeling this is going to take a while. Not to mention he's totally trying to pull off the teacher who understands his students act. There's nothing wrong with that, Mr. Wakui, but you're wasting your time trying to understand me and Kazuki right now. The young always want to rebel against the system against the adults. In fact, the first few decades after World War II, Japan was filled with young people like that. I guess it was around my parents' generation when things started to calm down. They were a little too understanding, you see, especially my generation, the ones after us. I wasn't sure how to respond to this. What was the best way to get rid of this guy? I couldn't let him find out that Kazuki and I were staying in the same room. Which meant that ideally I wanted to leave the school without him. My phone started to vibrate in my pocket. Wakui was still talking, but I took it out anyway as a sign that I wasn't interested in hearing what he had to say. I got a message. It was from Kazuki. From Kazuki? I looked up. Kazuki was still playing ESO 2 with her back to me. When I looked carefully, I saw that she was holding her smartphone with the hand that wasn't holding the mouse. Why would she send me an email when I'm standing right in front of her? It's always so hard to tell what Kazuki's thinking. Or maybe there's something important that she can't tell me because Wakui's here. My curiosity piqued. I looked at the email. Huh?
Miyashiro-kun?
どうかした?
Is something wrong?
ああ、いえ。
Oh, no.
そう?
Yeah,
ならいい
alright.
けど。で、どこまで話した
Anyway,
っけ?
where was I? Well, you see...
つまり
Wakui's still
ね。
talking. Was he always this talkative? My heart was pounding and loud and fast. My mind still couldn't process it. I couldn't believe what I just saw in that email. I took another look at it, being careful not to let Wakui see. Message from Nightheart. Mr. Wakui is an assassin from the committee? What? The committee would be the committee of 300 that Nightheart brought up, right? Their assassin was Wakui of all people. The language teacher. The guy who's rambling right in front of me.
ところで。
By the way,
なんだっ
what
け?
was the name of the thing you were looking
宮代君たちが調べてい
into?
た事件。
Huh?
ほら、そ
You
この
know,
ボ
the
ード
one
に
on
貼
the
ってある
board.
やつだよ。何かわかった?
Did you find something out?
Should I believe him or not? Nightheart did say that the committee of 300 might take action. But he didn't tell me why. What exactly are they after? If he really is an assassin, are they trying to kill me and Kazuki? Does he not like what's happening in Shibuya right now? Of course not. No one would like it. Not just the committee. But killing us won't magically make things better. Doesn't the committee know that? Then again, even if I told them that, would they really just leave us alone? Or is there another reason they want to kill us? I don't know. There's no way for me to know. All I have are just guesses. Was what Nightheart said even true anyway? Does the committee of 300 really exist? Where did he find out? What was his source? Looking back on it now, it's hard to say if he's even on our side. Kazuki seems to trust him, though. Is it possible that Nightheart is really the real assassin from the committee of 300? If I want to be really skeptical, I can't even be sure that Nightheart contacted Kazuki just now. There's a chance that she's lying to me. I don't know why, but there's a chance she might be trying to make me think Wakui is a bad guy. There are all sorts of things to doubt. I'm so confused. What should I believe in? Who should I believe in? Who am I supposed to believe?
おーい。
Hey, Miyashiro-kun?
Hearing my name called shook me out of the trance. Evidently, I'd been lost in thought.
顔。
You look kind
青
of
くない
pale.
かい?
ああ、いえ。
Oh, well, I'm fine. What were we talking about again?
事件のこと
About the
です
case?
か。
そうそう。
That's right. You were doing a lot of crazy things while you were looking into it, right?
Kazuki looked over her shoulder at me. When I saw the little bit of fear in her eyes, I made my decision. That's right. Even if I don't know whether or not I can trust Nightheart, there's no way that I can't trust Kazuki. She's not the type of person who would lie to someone. Not to mention, it doesn't make much sense for Wakui to be here right now anyway. He's the type of person who'd go out of his way to avoid trouble. Would he really put himself in danger by coming to Shibuya just because a parent called?
だいぶ前に
Kurusu-kun was
クリス君
complaining to me a
から
long
軽く
time
愚痴られ
ago.
たよ。宮代君が
She
ちっ
told
と
me that
も
you
言う
weren't
ことを
listening to
聞いて
anything
くれ
she
ないか
said,
ら
so she wanted me to
顧
talk
問
to
と
you.
して指導。
はあ。
Huh. But then why is Wakui rambling on like this? If he is an assassin, wouldn't he just try to kill us? They won't send a complete amateur. He should be capable of killing us. I realized I was more nervous than I thought, but I couldn't let it show. If Wakui found out, I was finished.
いや、僕もね。
You know, when I was a student, I would hear about wars and terrorist attacks going on all over the world, and I'd think about it a lot.
いろいろ。それで、
I actually ended up putting on a backpack and going on a trip. You know, one of those find
いわゆ
yourself
る
trips.
自分
意外
I'm
です
kind
ね
of。surprised.
だろ
Right? I was young then.
僕もあの頃は若かったな。
What could be the reason that Wakui is still talking about all this? I can eliminate the possibility that Nightheart is wrong. If he is, then I'll be fine. But it would be safer to assume the worst case scenario. Possibility number one, he's trying to drag out the conversation to learn something from us. His target might just be me, or it might just be Kazuki. What if he isn't sure who it is yet? Maybe he's only after the person who created the portal devices, and he isn't sure if that was me or Kazuki. Possibility number two, he's hesitant. He is our club advisor, after all. It's possible that he feels some kind of sympathy for us. No, there's no chance of that.
でも僕としては
But, you know, I
宮
took
代
your
君の味
side.
方をしてあげる。クルス君の言い
I
分
understand how
もよ
Kurusu
くわ
kun
かるん
feels,
だけど
but, you
ね。
know, I'm a man,
やっぱり、
like
ほら、
you.
僕も宮代
Is
君
he
と
just
同
waiting
じ
for
く
us to fall into some trap?
男だから。
Or is he just not worried because he doesn't think we know who he really is? I sent a quick message back to Kazuki. We're going to run.
男子として
As someone who
共
was
感し
once
ち
a
ゃった
boy,
わけ。
I sympathize.
それ単に
It
あれ
wasn't
これ
just
指導するのが
that you
面
weren't
倒
too
だっ
lazy to
た
come
とかじゃ
lecture
ないん
me?
ですか。
失礼だな。
Well, to be honest, you're
実際
right.
のところは君の言う通りなんだけどね。
The response immediately came back from Kazuki. How? For now, I just want to get out of this room. And get away from Wakui too, if I can manage it.
ただ、
But, you know, it's
あ
not
んま
good
り
to go
や
too
んちゃをす
far.
るのはよ。
Huh?
君たちはま
You're
だ
still
学
students,
生
you
なん
see.
だから
If you
ね。
break the law, you could
法
ruin
に
your
触
whole
れるようなこ
futures.
とをしたら、
ああ、
You mean the
取
reporting
材
we're
の
doing?
話か。
Huh?
いえ別に
No, we haven't done
や
anything
ましい
wrong.
ことは何もしてないし。
That scared me. I thought he was talking about something else. The next thing I knew, my throat was parched. I gulped down the entire Mountain View I'd brought from the vending machine earlier. This is looking bad. Both Kazuki and I are powerless. There's basically no chance of both of us getting away. I might have to pick the better of two bad choices. It's my only hope for avoiding the worst possible outcome.
なあ、和樹。
Hey, Kazuki. Kazuki jerked up when I spoke to her. She slowly, fearfully turned around. She was so nervous her movements were stiff. Come on, act natural.
飲み物を買って
Can
き
you
て
go
くれ
get
な
me
いか。
something to drink? I just ran
ちょうど
out.
なく。
Wait,
っていうか
Mishio-kun,
宮代
are
君
you still
さ、
planning on staying here?
まだ
I
ここ
really
にい
have
る
to get
つ
you
もり？
guys home.
でも涌井先
I
生の
want to hear more
話
about what you have to
も
say.
うちょっと聞きたいんで。
What?
本
Really? That makes me
それは
happy.
嬉
Students
しい
these days
な。
always seem to get bored when I
最
talk
近
about
の
old
生徒って
times.
さ、
なんなら新
Why
聞
don't
部
we
で
do
記
an
事
article
に
for
し
the
ましょう
newspaper
か。
club? We could do a whole
涌井先
special
生
on you.
特集。
いやいや、
Oh,
そ
you're
んなの照れ
embarrassing
ちゃう
me.
よ。
I was shocked to find that I was speaking as well as say, Ito.
和樹ももうし
And
ばらく
Kazuki
ゲームをしていたいだ
wants to
ろ
keep playing her game for a while, right? Kazuki stood up uncertain.
付き合ってやるから。
We'll stay here for a while,
そ
so
の
go
代わ
get
り
me
自
something
販
to
機で
drink
ジュ
from
ー
the
ス買っ
vending
てきてよ。
machine. I took a coin out of my pocket and practically forced it into Kazuki's hand.
よろしく。
Thanks. Went away without me. I tried to motion to her with my eyes. I didn't know if she understood. She nodded reluctantly. Then she slipped past me and headed for the door.
和樹くん、
Kazuki-kun,
Vicky?
are you okay?
なん
Want
な
me
ら
to go with
僕も
you?
一緒に行こ
Was he watching us? Did he figure us out? His expression was the same as it had been for a while now. It was the same goofy look the students always joked about.
大丈夫ですって。
She says she's fine.
今
There's
学校
nobody
に
here
は
in the
誰も
school
いない
right
し
now.
先生も何か
If
飲
you
み
want
たい
something
な
to
ら
drink too, maybe you could ask
Kazuki
Kazuki to go get it for you?
う
And then I realized that I might have made a mistake. Kazuki's hand was already on the doorknob.
う。あ、
Oh,
それ
maybe
じ
I
ゃ
will.
あ僕、缶コ
I'll
ーヒー
take a
ね。
can of coffee. The one with a little bit of sugar. You know the one I mean. It says for mornings on it, and it's in a red can.
赤い。
Kazuki glanced over at me. You're worrying too much about me. He'll figure it out that something's wrong. Wakui was rummaging through his inner pocket of his suit.
僕さ、
I never put coins in my pocket, you know. I always keep them in different pockets.
そしたら、
So if I ever drop my
財布を落
wallet,
と
I
した
won't lose as
時
much
の
money.
被害分散にも。お
Oh,
札は
that doesn't
別
go
ね
for bills though.
ちゃん
I
と
put them in a
札入
bill
れを持っ
holder.
てるよ。
He's so talkative today. How long does it take to search for change?
それに、
And you
ほら
know, if you forget where you put your money, when you find it again, you feel like you made a lucky discovery.
後で再発見し、そういうささ
You
や
need those
か
kind
な
of
喜
small joys
び
in
が
life.
人生。
先生いいか
Mr.
ら早く
Wakui,
お
hurry
金
up and give
渡
her
し
the
て。
money. I'm really
僕喉
thirsty.
が渇いて仕方ないんですよ。
I got a little aggravated and my tone was a bit harsh. But I instantly regretted it. If I didn't act calm, Wakui would figure out what I was up to.
悪いね。
Sorry, I'm
な
having
か
so
な
much
か見
trouble
つから
finding
な
it.
くて
Oh, here we go.
あったあった。
Wakui finally took out 200 yen from his pants pocket.
じゃ、
Okay,
よろしく。
thanks. Kazuki spread out her hand, is holding the few coins that I'd given her. Wakui put his hand over hers and dropped two 100 yen pieces. The coins fell. They collided with the coins in Kazuki's hands and didn't make a sound. Huh? That's weird. I should be able to hear the sound of two small pieces of metal colliding from this close by. Wakui was rummaging through his pockets again as he opened and closed his mouth. What is he doing? Something feels off. And then I realized why I felt that way. Wakui was talking to Kazuki. but I couldn't hear what he was saying. What the... I put my finger in my ear to see if it was clogged, and then I noticed something else weird. Normally I'd be able to hear the sound of my fingertip touching my eardrum, but no matter how many times I jammed my finger into the small hole, I didn't hear a sound. Come to think of it, I haven't heard any other sounds for a while either. Why? What's going on? I tried speaking to Kazuki. Is something weird going on? I was sure that I said that out loud, but I couldn't hear my own voice. Kazuki didn't respond at all. She was just looking at the coins in her hands like she was about to cry. Can you hear me? I yelled louder, but it didn't work. Why? This doesn't make any sense. My hearing was normal a second ago. There's no way I could just go deaf out of nowhere like that. Something weird is to be happening right now, but I have no idea what it could be. I tried to tell myself that I might be hallucinating. I closed my lips and stood as still as I could. I listened carefully. It wasn't pure silence. I could hear what sounded like a ringing in my ears. I could still hear it. How does ringing in a person's ears work again? Is it really sound in the strictest sense? Is it made by vibrating air? Or is it some kind of supersonic wave? Suddenly I felt very nervous, and I opened my web browser on my phone to run a search. When I read what I found there, I got scared. Stress is said to be one cause, but it is still unknown where exactly in the body it occurs. What the hell? I was sure that modern medicine would have an answer for that. How can they just say they don't know? Once I started noticing it, I couldn't ignore the ringing. The constant noise started to seem extremely unpleasant. Why was I hearing this ringing, and nothing else? I looked back at Kazuki. She was holding her ears and looking around frantically. Is it happening to her too? Kazuki? I tried yelling. Kazuki didn't respond, but Wakari looked at me. His lips twisted into a grin. It was him. He was like a totally different person. The face of the lazy, unreliable teacher had changed completely. The easygoing, peaceful smile was gone. And that was when I knew for sure. He really is an assassin from the committee, just like Neihard said. But what's happening to me right now must be because of him. But how is he possibly doing this? Is he a psychic too? It felt like the ringing was growing louder. It was all I could hear. It kept ringing at the same frequency, never letting up. It was like it was stabbing into my brain. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. There was no point in putting my hands over my ears. The ringing hadn't even been there for that long, but I already felt like I was going crazy. I screamed. I tried yelling as loudly as I could, but it didn't work. No matter how much I howled, I couldn't hear my own voice. Who could have known it would be so stressful not to be able to hear your own voice? I put my hand in my throat and screamed again. I could feel my vocal cords vibrating. I knew I had to be speaking, but all I could hear was a noise. Was this really just a ringing in my ears anyway? It seemed like endless thunder in the sky. Maybe I was starting to go crazy. Maybe hearing this ringing for so long meant that I couldn't even recognize it as ringing anymore. Or maybe I was just hallucinating. My head started to hurt. Maybe... My field of vision kept wavering. I couldn't keep my balance. Even standing up became difficult. It was like standing on the deck of a ship during a storm. I fell to my knees, unable to stay up any longer. I begged to hear another sound. I slapped my own body and slammed my smartphone into the ground, desperate to hear any other kind of sound, but it didn't work. Then I felt my phone vibrating and looked at the screen. I got another email. Was it from Kazuki? Maybe she found a solution. I opened it hopeful, but of course my hopes were immediately crushed. It was from Makui, not Kazuki, and this is what it said. They say that in a completely silent environment, a human will go mad within 45 minutes. I looked up. Wakari was looking down at me with a cruel smile on his face. There was a can of coffee in his hands. I wasn't sure when he got in it. He took a slow sip from it and laughed. What happened to Kazuki? I spun my head around desperately, looking for her. She was rolled up in a ball by the entrance to the room. She covered her ears with her hands and was shaking. She couldn't escape either. Did Wakui knew all along? That we know who he was and were trying to escape? I thought I could get the initiative, but he'd been laughing at me the whole time. Still, isn't there anything I can do about this ringing sound? I thought it was a constant frequency, but it wasn't. There was a faint rhythm. What is this sound? I need to get rid of it somehow. Otherwise, I might really go crazy, just like Wakui said. Then my phone shook again. It was another email from Wakui. Do you want to know what that sound is? I looked at Wakui and nodded. He laughed. He seemed truly happy. I moved his lips in big, easy-to-read motions. It's the sound of your body. It was only then I realized that I was making so much noise, that there were so many different chaotic noises with my own body. It made sense. It was normal for a living creature. My heart was beating. My blood vessel contracted. My blood cycled. My cells were dying and new ones were being born. My lungs inhaled oxygen and exhaled carbon dioxide. My organs emitted all kinds of different fluids. My intestines contracted. My nails were growing. My hair was growing. All those things made tiny little sounds. Normally you would go through your entire life without hearing the sounds that your own body made. But now, with my sense of hearing shut off, they were overflowing from within me. They were the sounds of my life. But there was no joy in hearing the breath of life so directly. I wasn't trying to make these sounds. I felt like my body wasn't mine. I felt like if someone else was giving my body orders without asking my permission. And once I started thinking that way, I couldn't stop. My mind and body had been separated. There was nothing but the terrifying sounds of life. My own body scared me. I wanted to rip my mind away from this lump of flesh. I wanted to rip off my skin and yank out my lungs, my heart, my intestines, every single organ, every single blood vessel. I screamed in fear, but I couldn't hear myself. Only the chaotic sounds of my body, as they played in layered harmony. And since there was nothing else to hear, I was forced to listen. I was forced to imagine which organ was making each sound. The sounds overlapped more and more, a disharmonious noise that bounced off the walls of my skull. I didn't know if it was a real sound, an echo, or if I was just hallucinating. My thoughts were swept up in the flood of sound. This doesn't make sense. Why am I suffocating in a flood of sound if I can't hear? How long is this going to last? The rest of my life? Until I die? I can't take that. Didn't he say that after 45 minutes I'll go insane? I'm not even going to last that long. I don't want to hear this noise for another second. Someone turn it off. I'll do anything as long as you turn it off. I'd rather die. I want to die. Kill me. I crawled along the floor and reached out to my hand toward Wakui's feet. Kill me. I begged for death. Kill me. I wished for the silence that awaited beyond it. Kill me. Release me from the sound, please. Kill me. Suddenly a sound like shattering glass traveled from my ears to the rest of my body. I could finally hear my own voice again. The sound of my shallow breathing was surprisingly clear. And it wasn't just that. The sound of my clothes rustling. The tiny chirping of birds in the distance. The sounds of the wind, or the leaves blowing through the trees. The sound of a police car siren. The sound of Kazuki's pain and coughing as she curled up in a ball next to me. I could hear all those tiny sounds. I could hear every single sound in the world with a normal clarity. What just happened? My vision was blurry. My head still hurt. But the sound was back. I'd never been so happy in my life to hear all this noise.
I see that we were interrupted.
Wakui spoke calmly as he walked to the windowsill. The glass in the clubroom window was broken. He picked up something off the floor. It was a ball.
A baseball, huh? A coincidence? I think not.
A baseball came through the window. And that was what interrupted Wakui's attack. But this is the 5th floor. Who threw that ball? The baseball team isn't practicing outside. This room doesn't even face the baseball diamond anyway. The only people in the school, no, in the whole surrounding area should just be me, Kazuki, and Wakui. I suppose this is her way of saying that if I'm going to mess with Miyashiro-kun and his friend, I need to give her a very good reason. Sheesh, he really does spoil you, Miyashiro-kun. He doesn't seem to be talking to anyone. He's not speaking to us. He's not on the phone. What the hell is he talking about? Alright, that's enough for today, I guess. Miyashiro-kun, Kazuki-kun, I'm afraid we'll have to continue this another time. Wakui's voice was gentle, but he didn't even glance down at us as he went to the door. I'll tell you one thing, though. Don't think you can get away. You've gone too far. The committee has designated you as an enemy of the world. The matter has been decided, you see. No matter where on Earth you run, we'll use our worldwide network to track you. We won't let you escape. Ever. Goodbye. And be careful on your way home. Wakui left. Kazuki and I were left alone. I could hear Kazuki moan. I could hear her breathing clearly.
Kazuki,
are you okay? I was surprised to hear my voice. Is this really what my voice sounds like? Still shaking her head. Of course she wasn't okay. I don't blame her. But why did Wakui let us go? Why did he only torture us instead of killing us? I don't know, and I didn't want to think about it. I didn't even have the energy to stand up, but I forced myself to do so anyway. At the very least, I didn't want to stay here. There was probably nowhere that was safe, but I wanted to get away before Wakui changed his mind. I let Kazuki lean on my shoulder as we left the school. Of course, we saw no one on the way home. October 17th, 2015. Saturday. It was after 7 p.m. in the evening, but there wasn't a single train car coming down the Yamanote line. And it wasn't just the trains. The entire city of Shibuya was now a ghost town. There was no light, and nothing moved. The town itself was eerily clean. That was the big difference between now and 6 years ago. Wakui went inside the pedestrian's tunnel under the train tracks, listening to the voices of the monsters howling in the distance. The night wind blew past him, colder than before. The moonlight didn't reach inside the tunnel, so it was extremely dark. Wakui could sense a lone girl in the darkness. Hello. Right on time, I suppose. Yep. The girl he'd summoned moved away from the wall she'd been leaning on, then stood with her back to the moonlight. Her eyes shone with a strange light that made Wakui shudder. You can have this back. Here. Wakui tossed the baseball he was holding at the girl. She didn't even try to catch it. Instead, it struck her in the chest and fell to the floor, where it bounced several times. Oh, you don't need it back? Or was it school property?
Tell me why you took Miyashiro Takaru and Kazuki Hana.
That's what the girl, Onoe Serika, demanded to know. It wasn't her usual feminine voice either. You could hear the arrogance in it. Wakui deserved her respect given his position, but she showed no sign of it. He didn't like that at all, but he also didn't feel like bringing it up. The committee, as well as Wakui, its messenger, had decided to respect Serika's position, at least for as long as their interests were aligned.
Are you willing to fight the committee depending on my answer? You interrupted me back there. That was more than sufficient for the committee to decide to eliminate you.
I won't let you kill Miyashiro Takaru on a whim. If you want to try, you need to tell me why. Depending on your reason, I'll either allow it or cut ties with you.
Allowance, huh? Well, I guess that was the deal that we made. But you know, he really is all you ever think of, isn't he? It's quite impressive.
The Committee of 300 was cooperating with Onoe Serika. Or to be more precise, they were allowing her to get away with what she was doing.
Tell me why.
Serika glared directly at Wakui. She didn't look away for an instant. Her face was expressionless, and it was hard to believe that a teenage girl could be so calm in this situation. Wakui slumped his shoulders in a slightly exaggerated fashion.
Our problem is with Kazuki Hana, not Miyashiro Takaru, you see. She's gone too far. This is the same nonsense we went through 6 years ago. We've been very quietly performing our experiments here in the city, and now there's all this chaos. Since she can't control her powers, it's not fair to put all the blame on her, but still, the fact of the matter is that the delusion she real boot is what caused this problem. The actions of this one girl disrupted order in Shibuya and maybe even the entire world. There are also unconfirmed reports that Nishijo Takumi may be backing her as well. If this matter isn't settled, not only will the world find out about Gigglomaniacs, but the whole world might be swallowed up by Kazuki Hana's delusions. I can see from the look on your face that you think the committee is overreacting, but that's just who we are. If the committee wasn't this cautious, we never would have gone this far. Thus, we've designated Kazuki Hana an enemy of the world. But still, she is a very rare test sample, and it would be a waste to just kill her. So the committee has settled on a plan of driving her insane and capturing her alive. Miyashiro Takeru is just an afterthought. I don't think there's any other reason beyond the fact that he was with her. We have our agreement with you as well. I've got no intention of killing him, I just want to teach him a lesson. Once we have Kazuki Hana, we plan to get them back to you. But of course, if you so wish, we can kill him instead. What do you say? Sarika thought for a moment and lightly kicked her foot against the wall of the tunnel. The sound echoed down the tunnel.
You told me a reason, so I'll allow it.
That was her answer. Great.
So you'll let me decide whether to kill him or let him live? Is that it?
Yes.
You're sure?
It's fine.
You really are insane. So long as Miyashiro Takeru enjoys it, you're willing to sacrifice the man himself. Or maybe you were simply born with different values than the rest of us. By the way, I'm unfortunately not an entertainer, so I may not be as good at this as you are. Keep that in mind.
Sarika ignored his joke. It was clear that she felt discussions were finished.
Can I ask you one question? What do you intend to do after Miyashiro Takeru dies?
There's nothing for me after that.
Sarika laughed, then turned around to leave.
I see. How noble. Oh, Onoe-kun, there are monsters around, so be careful on your way home.
Sarika didn't even bother looking back.
Alright, if that's the deal, maybe I can be a little more open with how I act. If I could lure out Nishijo Takumi too, that would be ideal. But for now, the problem is Kazuki Hana and Miyashiro Takeru.
Wakui took out his phone and dialed a number on the contact list. The phone rang for a while before it connected.
Yes, hello?
I'm Mr. Wakui, the student council advisor. I need to speak with the student council president for a moment. Is she available?
Dawn came. We spent over 12 hours running, with no real destination in mind. After Wakui's attack, Kazuki and I had hidden in a Shinsen Love Hotel. All this chaos had turned Shibuya into a ghost town. There were several love hotels in Shinsen that had closed down. We stuck inside one of them and held each other tight, hiding and trying to make as little noise as possible. I knew that it wasn't going to do us much good. It was obvious Wakui knew everything he needed. But even if it was only a difference of a few percentage points in the likelihood of us being found, I wanted to stay somewhere else rather than stupidly going back to the dorm. Of course, spending all my time in one place meant that I had nothing to do but think and worry. He might find us if we stay here. He might have already found us. He could attack us at any minute. Those fears became delusions, and those delusions threatened to drive me crazy. So every hour or two, we would hide somewhere else. Since we couldn't get close to Shibuya Station, we went to bookstores, department stores, and WCDs around the area. They were all closed, so we used Kazuki's D-sword to break their shutters and go inside, then head there for just a few hours. But no matter how many times we went to a different place, my worry didn't disappear. The power Wakui had shown us was just that overwhelming. It wasn't physical power. It was psychological torture that drained all your will to resist. Just remembering it made my whole body shrivel up with terror. Of course, I didn't get a wink of sleep. Kazuki was no different. She spent the whole time clinging to me and shaking. She was so weak that she couldn't even walk on her own. She was physically exhausted, of course, but the psychological exhaustion was worse. She hadn't even tried to say a word since then. I tried to pry her off me, but she stubbornly kept clinging. So I had no choice but to walk with my arm around her.
Kazuki,
we're here.
ほら、着いたぞ。
We've been heading for a manga cafe. Fortunately, there were plenty of places to hide in Shibuya right now. The shower was down at the entrance of the building with the manga cafe. Kazuki, break for us.
破ってくれ。
Come on, please.
な、
Instead of taking her D sword out, Kazuki just kept clinging to me. I had no choice but to try and physically force the shutter to rise. It didn't work. There was no sign of my power or telekinesis manifesting itself, and I couldn't find my own D sword. I didn't want to die, but I was so tired. I had no idea that running in fear for just half a day could be so exhausting. With nothing else to do, I slumped down against the shutter. Still, Kazuki wouldn't get off me. We probably weren't going to be able to keep running for much longer. Wakui had been quite clear.
I'll tell you one thing though. Don't think you can get away.
Thinking about the future made me despair. It was up to someone else whether we lived or died, and that someone was coming for us soon. I doubted we could escape when he arrived. And even if we could, there was only so long we could keep running for before he inevitably caught us. We had no future. I even considered committing suicide. The idea of facing Wakui's psychological attack again scared me more than anything else. If only someone would come to save us. Suddenly I heard a sound nearby, and I cowered in a place before I even knew what I was doing. I curled up into a ball to protect my head. I knew there was no point, but my instincts made me do so anyway. But a short while later, I realized it was just the sound of a smartphone, and I gave a deep sigh. It was Kazuki's phone that was ringing, not mine. The sound kept playing, which meant that it was a phone call, not an email. Kazuki looked at me with terror in her eyes.
電話?
A phone call? Who was it from? The screen said Nono Senpai. It was Caruso. Kazuki was unsure if she should answer it. If she didn't, maybe Wakui would go after Caruso too. She probably wanted to avoid that. But right now, we needed any kind of help we could get. It could be Caruso, Serika, Ito, or even Nightheart. We just wanted someone to do something to save us from this nightmare. I grabbed the phone out of Kazuki's hands and answered it.
もしもし?
Hello.
Oh, good morning. This is Wakui.
Just hearing his voice filled my mind with despair. I was too scared to speak.
That's strange. I was sure I'd call Kazuki-kun's phone. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. She's right. I'm sure she's right next to you, right?
This can't be happening. Cruz's name is on screen. So why am I hearing Wakui's voice? I thought for a second, and then the worst case scenario occurred to me. What did you do to Caruso?
Oh, you understand the situation already. I'm glad you're quick on the uptake.
Did you kill her?
No, but I don't know what I might do in the future.
どういう
What do you
つもり
mean?
だよ?
Let's meet at noon today at the theater club on the 11th story of the Hikariwo building. Can both of you come?
行かなかったら
If we don't, will you kill Caruso?
クルスを
I suppose I will. I mean, I've got so much cleanup work to do. Cleanup from what, you might ask? What Kazuki-kun did, of course. So it would be a big help if you just show up. My boss is wanting me to go big, you see. Well, of course, I'm not planning on adding to the chaos. In fact, we're going to be censoring all the information about what's going on in Shibuya right now. But there have been several annoying little rats running underfoot for the last 6 years. You two and Caruso-kun are bait to draw them out. Well, of course, I have no other interest in you, Miyashiro-kun, so as long as you're on time, there's nothing to be worried about. Thanks. See you at noon, okay? Make sure you're not late. Teacher's always sad when the students keep waiting. After his monologue, Wakui hung up. God damn it. Caruso's been kidnapped. I looked at the time on the phone. It was past 9.
クルスが
Wakui
を
kidnapped
捕ま
Caruso.
えた
Kazuki looked up to me in shock. I told her that if we didn't go see Wakui at noon, she was going to die.
猶予は
We've got less than 3 hours, huh?
3時間も
If we went, we were definitely going to die. There just wasn't enough time left. We didn't even have time to think about our option. I felt like I was about to cry, but I stopped myself. Why? I know no senpai.
そんなの
How the hell should I know?
わかるわけないだろ
I slammed my fist against the shower in frustration. I knew the answer, of course. I knew it so well it hurt. This is all my fault. I got Kazuki and Caruso involved in this just to save my own life. What should I do? What am I supposed to do?
There's nothing I can do. I have no way of fighting back against Wakui. Both Kazuki and I are powerless. But if we don't go to the meeting spot, Kurusu will be killed. It doesn't matter whether or not Wakui intends to keep his promise. Our only choice is to do what he said. But he's telling us to go get killed. Just imagining it made my knees shake too much for me to stand up. My life was going to end soon. It'd been a short life. And I never thought it would end like this. Where had things gone wrong? I want to save her. Huh? I want to save Nono-senpai. Just this once she didn't say maybe. But it's impossible. She's seen for herself how scary Wakui is. There's nothing we can do. If we try to hurt him and piss him off, he might do something even worse to us. It'd be far better to just let him kill us. Nightheart. Huh? Nightheart can do something. Maybe. Maybe he can. But he always seemed really shady. I can't imagine him agreeing to help us just like that. Even so, we decided to talk to him anyway. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save right here. And I want to check something. If I go back to these 3 save files that I made, and I just hit skip on them, are these all going to play exactly the same? Really? Now I'm starting to get worried that I didn't select the right option. Did I? I don't think I did. I'm starting to think I selected the wrong options my first go around. We're screwed! Okay, that's a bit worrying. Well, I'll figure that out in my own time, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and end it here for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you all later. Peace.